When most YouTube creators think about making money on the platform, oftentimes their mind first goes to YouTube ads or Google AdSense in order to monetize their YouTube accounts. But in reality, a lot of the more well-established channels are actually making significantly more money from sponsorships than they are from Google AdSense. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5-step process that you can take in order to land sponsors on your channel and to get sponsored on YouTube. So first off, how does getting sponsored on YouTube actually work? Well, there's not a one-size-fits-all answer because all sponsorships on the platform are a little bit different, okay? You've got things like one-time sponsorships where a brand is just going to pay you one time to do one video, or you've got recurring sponsorships where a brand might pay you, say, a certain amount of money every single month to make one video per month about their brand. There are also sponsors that will only want a quick mention in the video, whereas other sponsors will want an entire dedicated video to that particular product. In terms of payment, it could be a flat rate sponsorship or a CPA or cost per action sponsorship. So as you can tell, there's a lot of variety when it comes to actually getting sponsored on YouTube. But now that you know that, let's get into the 5-step process for actually getting sponsored on the platform. So for many YouTube creators, it's a bit of a black box to go from wanting to be sponsored on the platform to actually landing a sponsor, partnering with a brand, and getting some cash into your pocket at the end of the day. So I want to break that down for you step by step. Also, I do want to let you know that I've booked dozens of deals both for myself and for other creators. I actually run a business right now called Solidate, where I do just that and help other creators, mostly on YouTube and TikTok, land brand deals and get sponsored on their respective platforms. So I do have a bit of experience with this. Now, step 1 of the process is actually choosing your brand. So you've got two main options here. You can either wait for a brand to come to you, or you can start reaching out to them. Now, if you go down the first route and you wait for them to come to you, you're going to get a lot of trash, okay? A lot of the YouTube creators that I work with, their email inboxes are filled up every single day with very scammy brands trying to get them to promote their various products and services. So if you wait for people to come to you, a lot of times it's going to be very low quality people. You're going to have to sift through dozens of different sponsor pitches just to find one that is actually a legitimate company. Now, if you start reaching out to brands yourself, that's where you can really pick and choose and work with the brands that you actually want to work with and work with brands that are actually reputable and legit companies. And when it comes to thinking about which brands to actually reach out to, oftentimes it's best to think about what brands or what product to actually engage with both in your videos and outside of your videos, just in your everyday life, okay? Because those brands are going to more seamlessly fit into your content. You're going to be able to talk about them without it feeling like you're selling to people. So start with those brands and then kind of build out from there. I've kind of just got a running Google spreadsheet where I keep track of all of the brands that I would potentially like to work with in the future. So that might be a good option for you as well. Just bust out the Notes app on your phone, a Google Sheet, whatever gets the job done for you. Now, once you've got some brands in mind, step 2 is to actually reach out and contact them. Now, this is where a lot of creators give up because they don't want to dedicate the time and the just mental bandwidth to actually writing all of these emails and reaching out to all of these different brands. And this is fair because as a creator, you didn't sign up to be in your email inbox for multiple hours a day going back and forth with these brands. So I can see why a lot of creators don't actually want to do this. But if you do decide that you want to reach out to some brands, here is kind of the process that I typically follow. On the first email, you're going to hit them with some context about who you are, what your channel is about, and who you talk to, and also a couple ideas about what a potential sponsorship could look like. Are you thinking a one-time thing? Are you thinking multiple videos? What is kind of the vision that you have in mind? Now, if they're interested in kind of that brief pitch that you send them, then they might try to line up a time for you and them to get on the phone or a video call to learn more about you and to tell you more about their brand and kind of what they're looking for. Once you get to that call, my general format is to ask them questions for the first 5 to 10 minutes to get a real strong feel for exactly what they're looking for. And then once I know exactly what they're looking for, I hit them with a pitch that hits on exactly the things that they want to achieve with a potential promotional campaign on YouTube. So I wouldn't just come out of the gates blazing with your pitch and your price and all that stuff in a call with a potential brand. What I would do is just ask questions, really get to know what they're looking for, the audience they're looking to reach, how much they're looking to spend. And then once you have all that information, if it seems like a good fit, then hit them with a very, very strong pitch. Now from there, step 3 is where the real fun starts because now you're going to be negotiating with the brand. Negotiating isn't just limited to price. You can negotiate on all the other terms of the arrangement that you're forming with this company. So definitely don't feel like anything is off the table when it comes to negotiation. This is going to happen both on that initial call that you have with the company and then via email afterwards, because in all likelihood, the person you're talking to on that call is not going to be the end-all decision maker for that particular sponsorship. They're likely going to have to get approval from someone above them, depending on how big the company actually is. Now, one big mistake I see a lot of people making here is 1, not negotiating at all, but 2, setting their prices way too low. Okay, a lot of influencers out there that I talk to and that I start working with are severely underpricing themselves. Okay, and sometimes when I start working with someone, we bump their price up like 5x immediately, and they're so surprised that people are still saying yes to work with them. So definitely don't fall into this trap. And if you're getting yeses again and again and again and again, and you've never gotten a no, then it's probably time to raise your prices. Also, if you're just curious about like kind of what the going rate is for your particular niche, what your channel might be, feel free to hit me up and I'd love to give you kind of an estimate estimate of what I think you'd be able to get from a sponsorship deal just by looking at your channel and kind of your metrics. So now that you've got the deal negotiated, step 4 is to actually create the content. So now it's time to deliver on what you promised them in that call, all of those dreams that you sold to this company. It's time to actually go in and deliver on those promises. And generally here, what I would recommend you do is try to go above and beyond what they expect from you, because most of the brands that I have worked with are actually looking for longer term partnerships with influencers. Okay, they want people who they can count on to be safe, to really promote their brand in the best light possible. And so if you can do a really good job with this first promotion with a particular brand, there's a good chance they're going to come back to you looking for more promotions down the line, because on YouTube, if you're a creator, you know that stable income can be hard to come by. So if you're able to really lock down a long-term partnership with a brand, can be really, really convenient for you, especially if you are someone who has people that depend on you for an income, or you just want a little bit more stability in your life. From there, step 5, this is most influencers' favorites, and this is getting paid. Now, for most brand deals, the kind of industry standard is about 30 days after that content goes live is when you are going to get that money deposited into your account, whether it's an ACH transfer or a PayPal deposit. Now, keep in mind, this is one of those things that is fully negotiable. So if you want to get paid earlier than that, definitely feel free to negotiate on that particular item, okay? Typically, when I work with clients, I like to negotiate 50% up front and then 50% after the video has been published, so that the brand has some skin in the game early on, and so the influencer can collect some cash right away as well and not have to wait 30 days past the video goes live just to collect that cash. And some brands, I mean, depending on how big of companies you're working with here, how much bureaucracy is involved, you could be waiting up to 60 days after that video goes live just to get that money deposited into your account. At that point, you've probably forgotten about this video, forgotten about this brand. So if getting money sooner rather than later is important to you, definitely don't feel like you can't negotiate on this topic. So now that you know how to land a sponsor on YouTube, the next thing you should do is check out this video over here where I break down the 4 steps that you should follow as soon as you get paid on YouTube. Because once that money hits your account, there are some very specific things that you should be doing if you're making money on YouTube. So check that video out, and I will see you over there.